Welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. My name is Dan, and I'm going to play Trinket against Familiar Storm. This is not a good matchup for Trinket. We listed it as the worst on the 1099 matches document. The sample size is not huge, and I have been given some pointers about how to play it, because it might just be that we played it wrong. So let's see what we can do. This might actually have been a hand that I should not have kept, as it has so little removal. Because we really need to wreck his creatures. He still doesn't have a creature, which is very good. But I'm sure he will pretty soon. We'll shitter him a lot, but with his massive card draw it really doesn't scare him. And we might have been wrong to discard the island. Should probably deploy a Crypt Rat. Or draw card. But I want to cast a Shittering Rat. God damn. No, it's Crypt Rats to get all those pesky 1/1s. Okay, given that I draw the swamp, I can now safely sign in blood and have Crib-Rot mana ready. It's very tempting to Bukabog this, but I will not do that. But keep Crib-Rot mana ready for fairy shenanigans. That's a card I want to get rid of. So Bukabog is next on the list, unless he flashes it back right now. But that'll put him dangerously low, won't it? Oh, he didn't. And we'll kill the Cloud of Fairies immediately here. You say Shittering Rats do almost nothing. And I'm gonna rely on Tragic Slip. Can I do that? Yes, I think I can. I'm trying it. So we shitted him quite a bit, but he still has a full grip. Nightscape Familiar. I'm not sure who to kill here. A nice guy familiar can do a lot of damage, but fairies bouncing up and down is not the best either. Who is it? I think it's the familiar. I'm not sure, and I should have played a Crypt Rat to kill them both. And this might be it. He will fissure us for 4. 6. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's everything. The question then remains, can we recover from this? He did even fissure the Bazooka Bog. So that gives me the idea that we can actually recover here. He has the familiar, he has the Cloud of Fairy, so that's pretty good. One more card. Well, let's see what he can do. In addition to the 1 point of damage. And the Muldrifter. But his attack is not very strong. The problem is when he gets to fissure every turn. He gets his lock. I think we play Ogre here. Try to get rid of some cards. But we really miss the sideboard. The Duresses will help a lot. This untargeted discard doesn't do much against Familiar Storm because he draws so many cards. And it's one of the few matchups where we face a deck that draws a lot more cards than we do. We usually outdraw even is it post, but this is enormous, the amount of cards they can draw. And now we even know he has lands to discard. We haven't set our stops correctly. And he'll probably come off again. That's a trick with Trinket, you forget to set your stops. I'll assume that losing 4 cards actually does matter for him. So we'll try to do that. We don't want that Grim Harvest. We don't even like Grim Harvest. We forgot to use the Terramorphic Expanse, which was fairly noobish. So he'll do 4 damage, and to Crypt Rat his whole team we need to do 3. We can still do it. God, I forgot to use the Terramorphic Expanse. That doesn't happen too often, does it? Hope it doesn't. So we're still doing 4 damage here. So we're at 5. And if he can snap the Crypt Rats, it's a problem. But it doesn't, and we can kill his team. So when is the right time to do that? Probably in his upkeep. That way, if he can somehow save them, he won't be able to attack. Signing Blood just became pretty bad. My chitter for Augur here actually. Oh, chitter, my Grim Harvest the Augur. And hope he's fast enough. A Fume Spitter would be awesome now, but don't have one. Lone Missionary doesn't do much. So I am chittering, I am Grim Harvesting the Augur. And I'm going to lose Grim Harvest. Do I want to augur that card? Yes, I do. Do I take 1 damage here? Yes, I do. And I lose. And go away, evil card. Yes! Mnemonic Wall. That's awesome. Okay, Muldrifter doesn't do very much. Signing Blood doesn't do very much. Well, I guess it's just Augur block. Oh, that's the right time to use 4C. And I was in error when I discarded Dimir Aqueduct. It might actually decide this whole game. That's it. Alright, it felt like I stood a fighting chance there, and that this matchup is not at all hopeless. It's so easy to dismiss a match. If you lose against Stompy a lot, if you lose against this opposed a lot, it's so easy to dismiss that match as unwinnable. But this deck doesn't have unwinnable matchups. So you just have to fight it out and practice, practice, practice until you can beat anything like Power T. We are taking out the lifestyles, we're taking out the edicts because they don't get the stuff we want, and we are taking out 1 Undying Evil because we just have so much things that want to get into the deck. So we took in the Duress package, we want the Distress, we want the Spinning Darknesses, and that's weird, isn't it? But we need spot removal, and we need cheap spot removal that will surprise him. And of course we want the Nihil Spell Bomb. And that's the sideboard. So we are taking out 2 Chittering, 4 Edicts, 1 Lifestaff, 1 Undying, bringing in 4 Duress, 1 Distress, 1 Spell Bomb, and 2 Spinning Darkness. We do love to play first. This looks like a pretty nice hand. And we want to upset his massive card draws. It's mostly card draw spells we're after. Like that Compulsive Research. Here is a classic situation of having to use Trinket Mage to get mana. But first we play the Fume Spitter, which will be our second black card in the graveyard when the time comes. Sad for us, he had the wrong familiar, the one we can't get with Fume Spitter. play familiar next turn and then the deep analysis. We have... Oh, we can deal with it with tragic slip. Next turn. That's pretty good actually. That will also give us 3 cards in the graveyard. But he isn't playing the familiar. So we can just beat down and play an ogre, who also makes a great card in the graveyard. And we actually have the harvest to bring him back, checking the gameplay settings, yes. So we are playing the ogre. And now he can hardcast deep analysis, but that's okay. This one man is short of being able to cast Sunscape Familiar and Deep Analysis in the same turn. He's evoking that Muldrifter, and that's good because then we can kill the Sunscape Familiar with the Tragic Slip without using the Fume Spitter. And sacrificing this ogre is important just to get 3 cards in the graveyard for the Spinning Darkness. And we love to draw land now. If we don't, we will harvest and bring back ogre. It wasn't hard to fill up the graveyard. Not much of a choice here. How do we kill the Nightscape Familiar? He's immune to that thing. The wall itself is pretty disheartening. Yeah, we'll go get the ogre at the end of his turn. I think he's casting Deep Analysis here, yes. And that guy we can kill, so we are going to. But we should have gotten back the ogre first, right? No, then we would have lost him harvest. Ah, a lot of non-bow there. Yeah, maybe I was just too not careful enough. Spinning Darkness is a new card in the deck, but please tell me how I should have done that. Because I'm stuck between Grim Harvest and Spinning Darkness there. And letting the fairies live, maybe that's what I need to do. Keeping the pressure up seems important. Sign in Blood. Capsule or harvest for Fume Spitter? Probably capsule. I'm expecting Muldrifter from him, but I get Seagate Oracle. Missing my land drop is pretty bad here, and I think I need to let this Seagate Oracle live. So then we'll just play the Muldrifter. But I might be in danger of being comboed out here. Getting the duress is good, of course. No, we know he has the wall. We really would love to remove his graveyard. So Signing Blood next turn seems like a good option. And the rest, of course. We know there's always something good around. As far as I know, he can't get back a creature from the graveyard, so once we kill the wall, it's gone. Which is a great thing. Double Aqueduct. Flicker. Sort we don't like. I'll play this so I can do Capsule Tragic Slip. I think I want to take out his Muldrifter. There will be more Muldrifters, but I have more Muldrifters too. Also gives me an excellent Grim Harvest target. And now I can actually kill the Nightscape Familiar as soon as it appears. Which is good. This is just another Muldrifter. And I'll go for that too. Compulsive research doesn't do a lot here. Cycle that. Keeping mana open here. Will I be able to cast the Muldrifter and have mana open next turn? Not sure. Wall Snap is pretty nasty. I really need to draw those cards. Maybe I was wrong not to play the Muldrifter. Army of Muldrifters. We know he has Snap, so we are not gonna... Well, he can even cast another Muldrifter in this very turn. We need to find a land here. And yes, he can snap his Muldrifter now, but it's his turn, so it's my turn, so he can't do a lot with it. This is unfortunate. I think I need to play Fume Spitter here to have some response to Nightscape Familiar or the Cloud of Fairies, but I think this is, and he has Snap for Cloud of Fairies, so I think this is when we lost. We couldn't keep all the mana open for our creature removal, and he had time to combo off. The Terramorphic Expanse guarantees that we have another land at the beginning of the next turn. But there is a great Temporal Fissure warning here. He could cast Cloud of Fairies and snap it. So he has all the mana in the world, and we are just dead. And we should have kept that Muldrifter in hand. But it's hard. It's really hard to... Do I sit back there and get overwhelmed by Muldrifters, or do I act like this and get overwhelmed by everybody? And here's the Cloud of Fairies, not yet. Maybe he's looking for it. I can't do nothing about it. As we know, he has snap. And he can actually snap it twice to get... and then play it again and get like enormous amounts of mana. And now it could snap it twice, but it means that that snap fizzles. So at least we got rid of one snap, so there might be some purpose of doing this. Losing the Grim Harvest, but we can't really count on Grim Harvest in this matchup. But it is a hard matchup for Trinket. And if you have any input on how to beat it, I'll be happy to hear it, because you'll need it. I beat an inexperienced Familiar Storm players in the tournaments by clocking them, because the deck it's very easy to time out with Familiar Storm, because there are so many things you need to do to win. But if you have enough practice with it, of course you can win within time. And oh my god! Yeah, that's a pretty good card, and that's even more game now. But given that I've drawn half my deck, I should have been able to remove his graveyard, but sometimes you're not. The only major matchup I have left to cover with Trinket is actually Ninja Teachings. And Arnold asked me, wow, is that a thing? And I think Ninja Teaching is always a thing. There are always old Pauper players coming back from the time when Ninja Teaching was really good. And you will see Ninja Teachings in the deck list from time to time. Maybe less now than Storm is gone, because I think they actually had quite a decent Storm matchup, like any blue-black deck had. But you'll see Ninja Teachings again. It's a blue-black control deck, which is very, very, very slow. And speaking of very slow, he is 2 minutes ahead of me, so he's pretty good at playing this deck. Creds to you, D. Arnold. He has quite a clock here, and I think he will be able to finish me pretty good. Yeah, he only needs 2 attacks, so the fissure itself is definitely enough. And now blue spells like give mana when you cast them. And now he has infinite mana. I let this go on for a while so you'll see what a Familiar Storm is meant to do. And I have no idea why this deck is only 4% of the field. I think it's a very good deck. So, the Arnold, what are the worst matchups for Familiar Storm? Why isn't this deck winning a lot? He has Grape Shot Storm count. I have to wait until the last until he's done with this, and then I can Terramorphic Expanse for a swamp. But it will probably be hard to get out of this. Looks pretty bad, doesn't it? And he will now be able to do that all the time. Yeah, as he is able to repeat this combo all the time, and it isn't a tournament game, and I have no reason to try to clock him, and he has the clock here. So, well played, the Arnold. Thank you for watching MagicGatheringStrat. I'm Dan. I've been playing Blue-Black Trinket Control against its very worst matchup, Familiar Storm. Thank you for watching.